what's up, y'all?
Hey, y'all.
We back at y'all with another video. We did miss last week.
Yeah, there was some stuff going on, y'all. Just growing pains. Like,
Girl,
really.
She was trading.
She have to put me on blast like that. But yes, I was trading. I mean, any of you who are investors, you know that last week was really crazy in the market, especially with the chairman speaking and just a whole bunch of emotions happening. And so I was just really focused, and I didn't get to finishing a video. But I was working on a video. Before we get into any of that, first, welcome to our channel. And if you have not already, please hit that bell at the top to subscribe and like the video. Also, do not be afraid to comment down below because it helps YouTube know that you like us and you want to see more. And so we would expect that you do, or you wouldn't be here, right? So on that note, let's get into the video. Yeah. That part. A few months ago, my wife and I sold our first house and decided to hit the road in our new home. A 31-foot Class C beauty that we gutted out and renovated ourselves. We traded in our traditional lifestyles for a lifestyle of freedom. Freedom to travel, freedom to explore, and freedom to homeschool our kids. The goal is to show our kids the world as they learn about it and create some amazing memories along the way. Follow us here on our journey as we define what it means to live out of bounds. All right, so I did start on a video for last week, and you know, even as I was focused on trading, I was working on this video, and there was just like this heaviness on me, right? And it was, the video was actually, dang, what was the video? Oh, it was gonna be about solar panels. You know, like y'all seen, or maybe you haven't, but we did a review on our Renogy solar panels that we purchased. And I mean, if you want to go with Renogy, that's on you, but please make sure you watch. Yes, watch our review first, just so that you have a pretty good idea of like just overall interactions that the company has. So. Absolutely. So yeah, I was working on the solar panel video, and it just, there was something that didn't feel quite right. And so Bay and I had been having these conversations, and then finally she was like, you know, let's just do the video that we've been putting off doing. And that's
this video.
That's this video. You guys see the title, and then you probably are like, what happened? And we just wanted to get on here and really share this experience with you guys, because
and be as authentic, because I think the biggest thing for us is ultimately to share our truth.
Always, first and foremost.
Yeah, like, yeah, no ands or buts. It's just to share our truth, and that's period. Period, as my daughter says. Period, so. So, yeah, so like Babe said, she was getting ready to do it, and it just wasn't feeling right. So this weekend, we really sat down and talked about, you know, how we want to, you know, just continue to move forward. And I think that Living Out of Bounds is not changing.
No, not at all.
But we want to still give you more of us.
And realistically our journey, because the RV was just a fraction of that. And so wait, let's just kind of back up a little bit.
All over the place, maybe.
So let's just back up a little bit and then come back to this whole spiel, right? I know that you guys have noticed the last couple of videos we've been in front of this lovely fireplace here. We are at a relative's house. At first it really did start off, you know, we were just coming to visit. Just spend some time with some family above the Mason-Dixon line. Spend some time with the family, right? Because we were in Georgia, we were in Florida, you know, like we had done some traveling, and we were just really coming up to just see folks.
We were returning home.
Initially.
What she's talking about. We were returning
to visit
the DMV area.
I'm saying to visit.
Yeah, it really was to visit. Like we That's why the RV is not here with us.
Yes.
Because the plan was to definitely truck it on back to Florida.
To get it, yeah.
To get it and go to the property that we talked to y'all about in one of the previous videos when we said we met this nice little couple.
Yeah.
And they were going to let us rent out their lot. I don't even know if we told them that. But
I think maybe we mentioned it.
But needless to say, we met this nice couple that were going to let us rent out their lot. We were going to rent out their lot for like 6 months. And so really,
that was the plan.
That really was the plan. But since we been home,
some amazing things have happened.
Like, how long were we here when I got that text message?
Not long. It was definitely
maybe
after 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe like 2 weeks because I think they just got back into school.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks into being here visit.
And so I got, some amazing offers to just expand my business. And so...
Wait! They don't know. Y'all don't know. Or maybe you do know, or maybe you don't.
And they still don't know because the world don't know. Only some people know. I haven't, released.
I was definitely about
she
to
was
spill
about,
beans.
yes.
Boop! So let me be quiet until, she's ready to do the unveiling. But basically, my lovely wife here has been cultivating something for a very long time. And if you follow us on Instagram, if you don't, you should. This is our handle. If you followed us, you've gotten glimpses of, what she does. And she is really about to, take that to another level.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited about it. And so I will more on that later. But I did receive, some offers to really expand the business. And so we had to make some hard decisions.
Very hard decisions.
So, again, I know we've been talking for quite a second, but we are actually now about to hop into the few reasons why we actually took a break from RV life. So, number one was, of course, I received an offer on my business to expand and grow it. Number two. Y'all, why she play it?
Number two, the children.
Oh, yeah.
Number two, the children. So they, y'all know my wife is from Memphis, Tennessee, and our twin boys, they were really young when she moved up here. So the DMV is their home. They have connections here, friends and family and stuff like that. Yeah, they were 3. And of course, they still have family in Memphis, Tennessee. Don't get us wrong, right? They still have family there, but their schooling,
they know is here.
Yeah, it all happened in DMV. So they really are connected to this space. And every time we come to visit here, we see their connection, and it's oh, maybe they needed that. And so there were some opportunities for them as well to get more involved. Thank you. To get more involved socially. And that's always a huge goal for us. No matter what we're doing, we want to make sure that they are good and connected and getting what they need on a social level, especially because y'all know that we homeschool them. So it's really, really important for us to make sure that they get that social interaction outside of just the two of us and outside of just the two of them. So there were some opportunities that presented here as well. So it was just kind of all right, so another reason why we should probably consider just kind of pausing on that for now. Yeah. So that was number two.
And so honestly, those are the biggest 2 reasons. So with those being said, we still have the RV.
Yes, we do.
We don't plan on selling the RV. We plan on still traveling in the RV. However, we plan on doing it when our schedule allows. Yeah. And so, silent. I'm trying to figure out what she gonna say too, y'all. I don't know.
So while wifey is trying to figure out whatever it was she was gonna say. So essentially, Living Out of Bounds for us has always been way more than just RV life, right? It's really just been just a reminder for us, and also maybe some of you to continue to figure out what works for you, to continue to be flexible, to continue to pivot when you need to make sure that what you are doing is 100% what works for you and your family in that space, and not feeling stuck. That's what living out of bounds is. It's not feeling stuck, essentially. And so for us, at the moment, that looked like being in the RV, and we were really able to do that. But we can't lie, there were some limitations within the RV that really affected Bay and what she does more than it kind of affected what I do.
And honestly, if I'm being honest, I didn't necessarily take all of that into account when we decided to
go full time.
This move full time. Needless to say, like, we know that we can get everything that we sold back, like, of course. But our other thing is we want to do it in a more just do it differently. I think that's probably like the biggest thing, is just like, as we are continuing to move forward, we just want to make sure that in our pursuit to live out of bounds, we live out of bounds in all areas of our life. And so when we were in the RV, as much as we were living out of bounds, we also, or I'm going to speak for myself, even though we see like some BIPOC people within the RV community, it was very few of us around in the RV parks and things like that.
True.
And so who I wanted to be my base for my company.
Yeah, she just didn't see that represented.
Yeah. And so I just want to make sure I'm true to who I am at the core and what I'm building my business on. And so it just, it didn't fit. So we really just honestly had to make some hard decisions. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to get on here because you all see our authentic growth. You all see, you know.
We started out in the first house.
Yeah, like the gray one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like about to say it. Okay.
Right.
We started out like in the gray house,
like
our
first video.
Yeah, like our first videos, and then you saw us, you know, with our little upgrades and things like that with the next house, and then you saw us sell everything, and so now we're at a point where we are building again.
Yeah, except this time what we're building is like the businesses are also being built. Yes. And so things that we never really had to consider before when we're talking about where we're going to be in terms of living, like that really plays a role now, because previously we were teachers, you know what I mean? Like we go to the school and teach and come home. So we really didn't have that element to think about. And now that we do, it's like, okay, so what would work best for starting the business per se? Like where does that make sense? And you know, this is where the connections are. So
I have tried.
She has.
I have tried.
Because she doesn't like the cold.
Oh, I have tried to escape the brutalness winters up here.
And I mean, we don't even get what like New York and
I could never.
Pennsylvania gets.
I could never.
Yeah,
this is about like, and this winter has been the coldest winter ever since I've been here.
Well, yeah,
like the coldest. But I have literally tried to escape the cold for a while, but when I get out of my own way, and so I'm going back into like I'm about to go deep a little bit, but when I get out of my own way,
which you got to do sometimes,
yes, and allow for things to just organically grow and not be worried over the small stuff like the weather type of thing.
Yeah.
You recognize, or it leaves room for God to really show up in your life. And God continues to show up, because literally every time I try, God is like, no.
Here's something else. Here you go.
No, I said here. And I'm like, no, I said here. And he's like, no, I said here. And I'm like, no. But this time I'm like, okay, I'm for real.
She's
because
listening.
I'm listening. Because number one, my abruptness, I guess, not only affects me, it affects my wife, and it affects the boys, and it affects our daughter. And so I have to recognize that it's not all about Sonjay all the time, right? If I was single, not married, and things like that, then I have to recognize, I mean, it would be a different story. But now that I'm married and with kids, and the business is calling, I must go, number one, where family is, and where community is, and
just where the connections are to
Yeah,
like really grow, because that's what we talk about. That's what we promote, like really pursuing and building and putting in the work to create the life that you want. And so that requires making decisions that are going to ultimately affect your growth and your business growth for the positive. And honestly, y'all, I struggled with coming to the conclusion that like, oh, like we're not RV life. You know, that was a struggle for me. You know, like it was hard because I'm like, but that's what we've been given. You know, like we wasn't finished yet, and honestly, we weren't. You know,
really weren't.
And we're still not, because we're really just kind of waiting for weather to pass and like, you know,
and these few gigs that I have to do.
Yeah, and you know, the work schedule to open up, so that we could at least take like a week trip or something like that in the RV. But what we recognize now is that part-time, at least for right now, while we are still building the businesses and while we are wanting the boys to have their stationary connections, like you can still have connections in doing RV life. Don't get me wrong with that. Yeah. But their connections specifically are primarily here, a lot of them. And so in acknowledging that, we're like, all right, so let's just do like whenever we can get away trips in our RV, because we do still like that. Y'all know how much work we put into VV. You know, it was a labor of love project for us, and it's not something that we are completely done with. However, in recognizing what some of the other areas of our life need, it's kind of like
you gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, you have to do that. And so
yeah, and you have to recognize, I was gonna add to like the kids, like you have to recognize who your kids are,
right? What works for them,
because your kids may not need the same setup that our boys need.
Exactly.
And then we have a daughter graduating next year, so that's a whole nother dynamic,
right?
So ultimately, guys, that's why we decided to take a break from RVing, and we hope that you all continue, of course, to rock with us. Most of you all were rocking with us before the RV,
so you
really
might as well.
You might as well rock with us because you've been here. Because we will still have RV content. It just will show up a little different than the way we planned. You know, sometimes when plans go abrupt, you just gotta go with the flow. And so we appreciate you all. Y'all know I'm gonna wrap it up, so I'm gonna let her. You got anything else?
I guess. So just y'all can look forward to us just kind of sharing more levels to Livin Outta Bounds, and giving you a more in-depth look of what that really means for us. You know, and what it looks like, and hopefully that'll inspire somebody else to make sure that they just kind of figure out what works for them. Of course, if y'all have any questions about anything, even RV life, like whatever it is.
RV life, our relationship, homeschooling, kids, like
whatever it is, like
LGBTQ,
whatever it is, y'all can drop it in the comments, or you can send us a message, like if you would prefer to just do it like through email or through our social media, whatever, if that works for you best. Just let us know if it's something that you specifically want to see. And we just look forward to sharing more of us and our ventures and our new adventures that we will be embarking on with you guys. So I hope you like this backdrop because...
And in honor of
Here we are.
Target sponsoring this, I'm just lying.
No, but really Target, y'all.
But y'all could. But no, y'all like my sweater? Y'all see it?
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Target had a really good.
We are the future.
Yeah, their
Target.
Their Black History drop was pretty dope this year, and they did a really great job of shining light on some small business owners, some Black amazing small business owners. Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing artists. We grabbed a couple of other pieces that we will be, featuring in the video.
So, in honor of, y'all know I'm not really for Black History, quote unquote, month, but because I feel like every month is Black History Month for us. But in honor of the colonized,
whoa.
Oh, sorry. In honor of the colonized Black History Month, I want to celebrate Target because they do a darn good job at, highlighting us in February.
Yeah, and so I just have my Howard shirt on, so there's that.
Like, ain't you? Which y'all be saying.
But on that note, y'all, we appreciate you. Again, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button so that you know when we are posting something new. We promise we are going to try to not skip weeks anymore. Pinky promise.
Last week was just a rough.
Yeah.
It was a transition.
We needed to transition it and really make sure that we were still being authentic for you guys because, that's always been our goal. Just giving y'all the real authenticness of us. And if you have any questions, again, hit us up. Make sure you follow us on social media. Make sure you like this video. Let us know anything in the comments. And we look forward to seeing y'all next time. Peace. Oh, one more thing. If y'all got some trips that y'all going on, let me know because it's cold here and we are trying to, get to some warm weather. So we're
safe places because that's another thing.
Yeah.
Travel has been slowed down because COVID is running rampant.
So let us know where y'all going that's safe. Like let us know that in the comments too. All right, that's it for real.
All right, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and follow us on Instagram at Livin Outta Bounds.